We must defeat the Scourge. Strategic Sage here, welcoming you to another AI War 2 run. I know it's been quite a while since I was able to do any gameplay videos, so I want to correct that here. Thank you for your patience. And we also want to take on the Scourge for reasons they were suggested, but also I've never defeated them. First try went very badly. I know more about how to fight them now. Hopefully it'll go better. So, the raid fleet. Move fast and strike hard to try to hem in those troublesome Scourge. Mine layer defenses. I want the ensnared battle station for its lovely tractor beams. My usual support fleet choice. And the AI is only on 7, again because having the Scourge on its side. We are using middle of the road here for the special forces, and the turtle AI type for the larger CPAs, and also will defend its planets more heavily. Sort of strength versus strength. We're going to try to expand rapidly. It's going to be reinforcing rapidly. So there'll definitely be a clash there. Also, in terms of the CPAs, I have the beacons off because I never use them, but Tsunami CPAs on for the first time. They are now the default. Haven't used them before, so we should have quite the event when we hit the 2-hour mark, and I'll need to be in control of the situation by then or I'll be in trouble. It's going to be a very rapid game because the Scourge don't allow anything else. Then civilian industry is on default. They're sort of our counterpart to the Scourge, although they operate much differently, obviously. They're at 6 strength, so are the Scourge. I found in a couple test runs, 7 was really going to be rough, especially if I had bad spawns. But if I had it on 5, it was going to be too easy. Hopefully this would be a middle ground, but winnable. I would really like to break my losing streak. So, here we go. We're going to use a very neutral map, Kahuna's Real Stars, 80 planets, not an anti-Scourge map, just a default one. And, okay, so now with this map, I think what I want to do is sit right here in the middle. The idea is that I can move up to cut them off, or down, or left or right, be in the middle, react in any direction that I need to as I see where the Scourge and the AI homeworld are, because those are always going to be in the same direction the Scourge starts on the AI homeworld. So let's get to work. Well, we don't exactly have an extremely descriptive name for our starting system, ASCS 13445. It is what it is. We are going to upgrade our command station, invest a little bit more in the economy than usual because everything's about hurry, hurry, hurry. And I'm not going to save up a bunch of knowledge in this particular run. I want to use it and advance with maximum speed. Metal generation will also help our civilian industries, as we'll see. That's why part of why I'm going with that. Ambush, and then technologist. We do have starting fleet lines in those categories, but mostly raid are stronger. So we're going to build on that. If we take a look at our starting fleet, as we unpause here and get things going a bit. Velociraptor is ambush, but the dagger is raid, the turbo stingray technologist, and then the raid frigate. So a second raid line. And we're going to eventually want to go with light hull tech down the road, but not just yet. Okay, so let's take a look around. Bunch of frigates in our starting fleet that we're going to get, and the tackle drones are, I think, ambush or technologist. Yeah, they're technologists. Okay, so they're going to get a bit of a boost. The others aren't in our starting tech category, but still a good mix of ships there. That being close by is very nice to get some outguard quickly. Over here, Sentinel gunboats and more tackle drone frigates. I always like the Warbird frigates as well. And then, yeah, so lots of frigates. That'll be an interesting thing. Let's see, ARS. We're definitely going to want those raiders. And over here, none of those really jump out. I may not jump on that right away, but I'm going to want to get the raiders going. And then the first GCA, Blitzkrieg turrets, and gravity generator. That's not great. That's not great. And I don't have to worry about my defenses very much early on anyway. So we're going to be heading definitely down to tracking. Let's go that way. Send you hang around here until we get everything built. Load up. And I'm not even going to wait until everything gets built in this. I just want to get a good amount of it. You can see the civilian industry is already building some things out. Now, they'll upgrade This is the complete center structure. You have to keep this up or civilian industry dies. Grand Station. Trade Station is one of these on each planet. It's melee. You can see that we're going to focus on melee tech for this particular planet. And then they're going to start building out these outposts and gradually defenses in the direction of every wormhole. They do a pretty good job of spacing them so that they would be at reasonable distance with your defenses. But what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to ignore building up turrets or anything like that because I can rely on the civilian industries at the beginning. I can just go, go, go. So we're going to hop in here. Why don't you jump in as well? And let's take a look. Let's go after everything up in this direction.
Taking fire behind enemies.
And the raids just basically kill things quickly. Very good at that. And they're fragile, but as long as we have overwhelming numbers, nobody's going to be able to get the job done faster. Okay. Let's hop down here. It's not even worth loading back up in my transport. Just go down here and make everything disappear. And you can see that, you know, just time-wise, we're able to do this much more quickly. Now, I do want to take a moment and bring in my support fleet. There we go. Okay, we got 13 strength in here. Let's head on down this way. Siege frigates will not last long against this firepower, and they won't be able to get off very many shots. There we go. And now they're trying to evacuate. Two here are still hanging around the command station. So I think we're going to be able to eliminate them. So a very quick, looks like about 2 minutes here. Boom. Alright. Now this is the only way out. So I'm going to build logistics right here so that they can't come through. And then, now that we have knocked down an enemy, we've got a little bit more vision. Let's take a look at some of the other things that we've got going on. A Gravik Citadel, Lost Energy Reactor. There is a frigate IGC here. We've got lots of frigates, so that might be something that we want to look into before too long. Death Grip and Solar Flare, along with Area Minefield. This might be decent, but it's a Mark IV planet. Won't get to that anytime soon. Perhaps Stingrays? Perhaps Warbird frigates? Not sure. Not the greatest fleet with only 2 ship lines and Mark IV system. Probably not going to be heading up that way anytime soon. Of course, we're not... Okay, there's an MDC. So that could be useful. I as well. More raiders here. So I think I'm definitely going to want to get into this system. Just the question is, which order do I want to do things in? And I think the first thing I want to do is hack these raiders and then do an early outguard hack. And then I'll decide where else I want to expand. So, last 30 seconds here of the outguard hack. Metal gradually pushing its way back up towards full. I threw up the full set of turrets and mines over here. It might have been a bit overkill. And they're not building any sort of militia outposts over this way, which I think is just, maybe they think there's not quite enough room, so they're doing these patrol posts and building more ships instead. I'll probably just make sure I put some turrets over there, but
Hackers report success.
there we go. There's our outguard. Let's just wrap this up. Okay. So we want to load everybody up and get out of here. And then I want to knock down all of this fun stuff so that we can rebuild properly. So yeah, a little bit excessive, but I'd rather be excessive than have not enough going on. So now I want to push our way up through here. I want to capture this fleet, which is going to be a fairly useful one. And then I also want to just grab another system for the purposes of expanding and getting more scouting done. There we go. And let's see. Let's work our way down this way. Or maybe we'll take on all of you, I guess. And again, those are just on pursuit. The other fleet, it can fly around wherever it feels like it. Got a bunch of frigates down here. Well, there's one up here too. Let's make sure we knock out all of this. These are Mark II brawlers. So it looks like they're going to be a little bit of fun for us. And we don't want to get bogged down here for a long time, but I also don't want to have a bunch of these causing us trouble later on in another system. So it's kind of a... I mean, I could just bypass this, but since I want to bring my support fleet in for rebuilding to fight in the next system and all that, I'm not sure that's actually the best idea. So it seems best to me here to just hang out in here, fight as long as we need to, focus in on these frigates. They're just going to disrupt everything if I don't get rid of them. Oh, that's anti-everyone zombie. How fun. And another one. That's unfortunate. I wonder if that's due to fire from the civilians. We do have some civilians in here, only like half of a point of strength. So they're not doing a whole lot yet. But they are out and trying to help us out. We can see some of them floating around here a bit. If they do nothing more than distract the enemy and give them more things to shoot at, then that's still helpful to some extent. Those turning zombie and having to kill them twice is not that particularly helpful. Okay, you are taking more damage than I'd like. Yeah, I think I just need to... You know what? I'm just going to actually pop you out of the system for a bit. Because your drones aren't helping me enough that it's probably worth getting you crippled. There's just quite a few of these. Every second that ticks away, the Scourge used to expand. Oh, for Pete's sake. Another zombie. This is unfortunate. We're having no trouble, like, because now we're losing a lot of ships. It's just a case of, do we have the firepower to actually eliminate these? Are we going to get you, or are you going to... I think you're going to... Yeah, you ran away. Okay. See if we can get you before you jump out. Maybe, maybe not. I think you're headed somewhere else. You're a zombie, Pike Guardian, and I think then after that we're going to go. Let's go ahead and bring back in our support fleet. Oh, there's another one. Just go away already. Okay. I'm not particularly concerned with knocking out all the guard posts in here. I want to move on. We're going to pop into here. Mark III system with a troop accelerator. Turtles love their troop accelerators. And the question is, do I want to use the hacking or do I want to accept the AI progress from those? I want to use the hacking for now. So where did we pop? We popped in right over here? Okay. I think let's just focus down here. And they've got some bombards in this system. Of course, they're troublesome for their damage, but the thing is, my raids really counter them pretty well. They can chew them up, and the bombards are so slow they can't escape. So, they actually, I don't fear them as much as I might in other circumstances. Okay, let's go after these guardians. Give them a piece of our mind. Yes, yes, drive them to the edge of the system. Everybody go. Nice thing about having fast ships is that does not actually hurt me much. Those are my tackle drones. Okay. More bombards there. Back this way. Clean up the mess. Okay. So we've got 8 more planets being explored. Very nice. Now, given this scenario in here, we got 3 planets. I think I just want to be a ways away from them. Way on the other side of the system. And then we're going to want to move you over here. We're eventually going to grab that fleet. But what do we want to do next? And I think I want to pop in here and clear this out. Because I don't want a troop accelerator sitting on a Mark IV planet, which currently is the highest Mark I that's adjacent to us. That could cause us some severe problems and in a not very long time. What are the civs going to do over here? Ambush. That's actually going to be very helpful to us. And by the way, this appears to not be random. Each system seems to, like every time I build a station here, it will be ambush, I believe. I think it's predetermined what type they'll build in each system. Maybe based on what the AI was here before, or maybe based on some random thing. I am not exactly sure. Now we need to decide what we're going to do with your ships. So the Sentinel gunboat are definitely going to be going into what I've termed my fire support fleet. And then the sniper frigates, yep, anything that's got infinite range, that makes sense for you. Tackle drones, more of those. And my primary rapid raid fleet can use the Warbridge. They're over 1,000 speed. They're a fast frigate. So let's do that. Okay. Let's get everything built up in here first. But that's, what is it? That is the Blue Mug system, right? Yep, yes it is. So we're going to want to get over there. It's going to be a little bit stronger once we get all this up and running. And we just got to get our ships moving here. Frigate heavy fleet we're acquiring, and it's going to require a lot of, there we go, a lot of metal. So we're going to be nearby. I'm just going to build these force field generators and keep going. Although, I probably should pop back over and make sure everything's okay here. I actually want to move my... Okay, so I'm not putting any of the battle station stuff up. All I've done here is really just reset, putting my pike turrets, gravity generators, all the normal planet stuff angled here. Due to the fact that, you know, again, we don't have any civ outposts. I'm just doubling down there. Still haven't built anything in the homeworld. Don't think I need it. Should be good here with the force fields. They've already got stuff going up. So, ambush is a good tech for us, for them to build up in this system. Should be pretty good. And we want to hop in here. But I think I want to let these come in first. I'd like to have 2 that I can attack the enemy with, but that outguard is just a defensive one. So we'll have to suffer that. Okay, they're going to come over this way and distract him in that direction. And then we're going to come in here. I think at first, I want to go after this stuff. Just kind of ignore the Plasma Guardian until I've got some of this other stuff down. And yeah, I definitely don't want to be on hyperspeed at this stage. I have more expansion plans, but I want to make sure this system isn't a big problem in the long run first, is my concern. Okay, go after that assault frigate. This is just unarmed. We don't care about that. Let's knock out the assault frigate, and then we'll get the Guardian. There we are. Its shielder is already down. So let's just pound on that 1 million health. Then I would prefer to be able to just knock out the troop accelerator and leave before causing a counterattack. I don't know if I'm actually going to get away with that or not, but I'm going to try. Alright. Now let's take you off of that, because I just want you to... Did they already knock out the... No, it's over here.
This is your time to shine.
So let's have both of them just make a beeline. Yeah, you're triggering all that stuff, which is not helpful. Get it? Now, I would rather take the AI progress hit than the hacking hit at this stage. So now we're up to 70. We can take one more. Everybody withdraw. Okay. I don't think we need to worry about too much of anything else in here. Alright. What's the bigger picture then like? Well, there isn't nearly as much in here anymore. 23 threat now. I don't want to mess with this yet. We can always hit this whenever we want. We've got an FRS here. Lots of fun mess in Dark Goblin. Another FRS actually up this way. But I'm looking at sort of choke points to cut off advance of the Scourge. Like, I think I want to eventually hit this. A Gravik Citadel Lost Energy Reactor is actually in a bad place, but I would want to probably have a planet somewhere in this range in order to cut off any Scourge transport this way. From here, perhaps I could go to somewhere in this direction to cut this off. This is going to be a very important passageway. Get up into this area, one of these to cut this off. So, like, if I take this, then I have a convenient way of hopping into any of those. But I think before I do that, I want to go after Bright. We've got a fleet capacity extender nearby. We might eventually want that tech vault. We have gotten reveal over here. Raid. Oh, I'm going to want that tech vault for sure. Yeah, so if I can take Bright, this would be a decent GCA. This would be a tech vault. I probably want to... There's only Mark III planet. I'm thinking I would want to take Rifikor, or however you pronounce that. That's a horrible name for a planet. But I think I would want to take these two. Then I've really got a strong cutoff in here. Grab this tech vault, and then I'd be in good position. Grabbing this next really boosts my frigates, and then, you know, I can also do something with this ARS, hit a couple of these fleet capacity extenders. Maybe, I don't really like anything in that one, but we could really boost up the fleet, especially if I can get into here and get that tech vault. So I think I want to use my hacking on all of that and then see where we are. Okay, it's less than 5 minutes later, and none of that plan has really come to fruition. I totally changed things up. Now, the first thing I did is I went right back into Blue Mug, cleared that out, so that I could hit this data center that was in Dark Goblin. Lowered the AI progress down. I figured I'd want to do that first, because I'm probably going to want to take a couple planets over here, and then I could stay at the AIP Mark I. But then I found this. And it highlighted this system in the pink color right away. It'll do that if you have Scourge in a planet you've explored. So we do know that if we look around, you know, we explored about a third of the galaxy, I think it is. Yeah, 54 more planets to go, a third of the galaxy. And this is the only Scourge facility within that third. So, you know, they're somewhere in the other 2/3. But it's our first hint about where the Scourge are. So they're probably somewhere, you know, starting over here or over here. We haven't seen any Mark VI planets or Mark 7s. We don't know where the AI is centralized yet. But in here, they have a Scourge Armory, just Mark I. And they've got a bunch of Mark I, there they are, the warriors hanging out by this wormhole. So that makes me curious about what's going on in that direction, which is over here. Probably something off this way. We'll see. But I'm going to begin with this battle in the next episode. I'm curious what you think about my overall strategy here so far. What do you think of the civilian industries in general? If we look at some of the things that they've done, for example, they've got, like, this is their first system, obviously. They've got a bunch of turrets up here, civilian pike turrets, civilian kinetic spike turrets. They're continuing to build up all their cargo ships going around shipping things. We've seen a bit of that mechanic. What do you think of them? There'll be more coming. What about my tech strategy of investing in civilian industries, or rather investing in anti-Scourge rather than civilian industries? Should I be investing perhaps in more ambush, or perhaps even in technologists? Because we got several types of technologist ships, as opposed to going after, waiting so I can get the light hulls, which will boost up a whole bunch of stuff, as you can see. So, is that the right kind of choice? And then right here, the decision that I'm making is between two things, and I think I know which way I want to go, but I'm curious to see what all of you think. I definitely need to clear out the Scourge here in Quidior, but I could have just gone up to Bright anyway and said, you know what, we're going to ignore this. If I try to take Lofur over here right now and sort of block this off, then I don't want to capture this system. Capturing one of these, they're better choke point types of systems, but the Scourge might just go around here. And then by taking this one, I would be putting a Mark V and 2 Mark IVs on alert. That's a little bit rough. So should I just wipe out the Scourge and just slow them down, come up here and then build up my fleet, then come back? How should I handle that situation? It's starting to get to the point where it's tense, and making the wrong move here could really, really make me pay in the future. So let me know what you think I should do, what you think of this run so far, and we'll be back next week with more of my battle against the Scourge. See you then.